Welcome to the Art of Hitting Club. In today's video, we're talking bats, not endorsements, not sales pitches, but real-world experience. Ken Bogart and I are joined by club members as we break down what truly matters when choosing a bat. You'll see a wide variety of bats on display because at the Art of Hitting Club, we don't favor any one bat company. Our focus is simple. What works and why. We cover bat weight, overall length, barrel length, balance, and feel. We talk about why certain bats fit certain swings and why no single bat is right for everyone. This conversation turns into almost a masterclass on bats based on decades of trial, error, and results on the field. You'll also see a special visit from Hall of Famer Dave Reed, a teammate of mine for over 30 years. Dave shares his personal experience with the Suncoast bat, including insights from his time as a professional player and what it means to swing a bat that carries his own name. Between Boogie Bogart's 30 years of experience with swing makeovers and player development, Dave Reed's elite Hall of Fame career, and my own decades in the game, this video brings together a lifetime of knowledge about bats and hitting. Add an input from other club members, and you get honest feedback from players who've tested bats in real games, not just batting practice. If you've ever wondered why a bat feels right, why another doesn't, or how to better match a bat to your swing, this video is for you. No hype, no bias, just experience. Thanks for being part of the Art of Hitting Club. Enjoy the conversation.
Well, welcome to the Art of Hitting Club, and behind the camera is none other than Bogie from Swing Makeover. We're honored. Well, listen, the one thing I wanted to point out in this circle of some of the key players in the Art of Hitting Club is that when we do bat reviews, we're not pushing any bat. We don't sell bats, we don't push bats. We give you the evaluation, and when you go around here, you see we use a lot of different bats, and we're going to do a little bat not testing but review today. So we'll start with me, and everybody introduce their name. I don't really have to do that, do I, Bogey? Well, I'm Ed Rose. Now I'm 79 years old, and I'm swinging the can-do bat. My buddy Jason Kendricks, one of the best hitters ever. This is a solid bat, and I got 40 bats at home. I choose to use this. Now I use other bats. I've used them all. This is a good bat.
What's the model and weight, Ed?
Oh, this is a 25, and it's a 12.75 barrel. Now I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. I like a 12-inch barrel because I got a good friend named Dave Reed. He told me to use a 12-inch barrel, and I've been a 12-inch guy for a long time.
Is that
Thanks
a combat?
Dave Reed, huh?
Is that a combat or
That's
micro?
a combat. That's a combat.
Right.
Different company, related, but yeah. Jason Kendricks.
I'm Frank Frenda. I'm 73 years old. I'm from Rhode Island, and my favorite bat is the Combat. And this is a 27 ounce end loaded 12.5-inch barrel. And this is the first time I use it today, but I've had Combat in the past, and I like Combat.
Hi, Stan McDavid. I'm 68 years old. I also like the Combat Rodeo. This is a 25. I've done pretty well with it.
Brian Normanton. I'm swinging a Vegas Bomb. It's a 12.75. This is 25 ounce. It's a end loaded. I typically swing short porch, and I like those a lot.
John Ferranti, 68. In my hand here is a Beach City by Short Porch. Generally speaking, I just like any one-piece bat.
Dan Carlson. I like all bats. This is my game bat. It's a 26 Easton Empire, and it's a one-piece 13-inch barrel, and this thing flies.
I'm Joe Pavlock. I'm 73, and I swing the old Adidas Melee. It's 25 ounce.
Hi, I'm Chuck Torgler. Merry Christmas to everybody. I swing the Short Porch Bayou and for Brandon Murray, and it's the DDT, and it's a 25 ounce, and this is one of my gamers. I have quite a few gamers, but I want to let you know one thing about this hitting club. What's so special about this club is that the knowledge and the tutelage that they give you to improve your swing and improve your technique on how to hit the ball and how to explode on the ball. So ever since I've been coming to this club, I have improved in both aspects of my game.
Hi, my name is Davey Reed. I am a Suncoast pro staffer. I've been with Suncoast for 20 some years now, and we've seen all the different bats coming up. I have now in my hand, I have a 2025 12-inch full load with a very, very thin handle. And my purpose of that is the thinner the handle is, the heavier and thicker it is here. So you get it out into here, it just takes off on its own. And right out of the wrapper, the ball goes pretty good with this bat.
And how old are you, Davey?
I am 78 and a half.
Got that half in there, didn't you?
And I'm a true half.
There and Frank just said, "What about your DeMarini?" You say DeMarini, and we're into DeMarinis too. Now, this is something a lot of people don't know, and you do probably. But do you use this DeMarini, Bogie?
Yeah.
That is a good bat.
Yeah.
Really good bat. It takes a while to break it in. So again, I just want to make sure that, and I think we got a couple other brand names. Did anybody have the Mariachi? I got a couple of Mariachis up there, but
well, last time I was here, you guys really kind of broke some ground. You came out with the combats. All of a sudden, that became people realized what a hot bat that was. And the same thing with the Anonymous. You guys had Anonymous and the awesome bat.
We don't, for some reason, Anonymous. Cause some guys swing one.
Gary swings it.
Oh, Gary does. Yeah. Usually out west, the Anonymous out west is big. But what was I going to say about the? Yeah, I forgot.
Alan Tanner should get it.
Oh, well,
I like.
He swings the Alan Tanner bat. That's the one we didn't have, the Worth bat.
And the Bedlam. I carry the Worth. I got the Bedlam and I got the Tanner TA. And I do have the Mike Dill balance, just in case I am a bad salesman. So if anybody want to come to Chuck
Now you just made me a liar. He's a bat salesman out in the club.
No, but I bring my bats out here to test, so I have knowledge to when I go to speak to the people who are asking about the bats, to give them the right information and not to be a bullshitter. I'm trying to be a straight shooter. So that's what it is. Thanks, Boo.
Yeah, there's somebody else I'm leaving out of this. I talked about the Victus, and I talked about the Uncle Charlie that comes from Mariachi, right?
Well, one thing that I'll tell you what is all the bats are, I'm getting winding down. I'm be 72 this year. We're not having a sponsor on the show. We're DeMarini for 17 years. I retired from being a pro player, and so I had a chance to swing a lot of other product this year. And I'll tell you what, all the bats are really good, and it's more personal preference, I think, because they all perform excellent, but I can't say that for me, and I'm not the hitter I was at one time, but they all seem like they do well, and they all reach kind of an equal distance for me. I don't know how you guys feel, but personal preference, and maybe you like the color. I don't know.
Well, Misenko says that I like this quote because I've had that discussion with him. He said, "Ed, if you're in the bat game and you can't make a good bat, you're in the wrong game." But Brett Helmer has Marochis, and he's bringing that out. And those bats are not getting the exposure they need because they're really a good bat too. So anybody want to add anything? Anybody else selling bats? I mean,
I'm not selling anything, but say like the bats are a lot alike, but for the batter, the balance and the weight makes a big difference.
And to some of them, they're all coming out gamer ready. I have a compression tester. They used to be 240 or 50 and get down finally get good about 175 or so. Hell, a lot of them are starting out at 195 or 205. So I mean the breaking period has really changed. From back in the days when we tried to break in a freak 98.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of look. The young guys that come out here, they like the harder bat. Now, you're an expert in that area. Why do they like the harder bat than the soft bat?
David could say that, if you're a strong young guy, you can compress a barrel, right? So I mean, a soft, for us guys, everything's soft in the 70s. So.
Everything, not everything. Come on.
No, everything. God, let's be honest.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Be Bogie, better speak the truth.
I've tried to rub Viagra on the barrel of the bat, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, we need to get a Viagra a bat for 80s.
But everybody's just doing an excellent job, and Suncoast has probably sold more bats than anybody else. And when the years I was with DeMarini, I don't think there's ever a better performing bat, but they had some durability issues. But I'd rather have a bat personally that's twice as, the candle that burns twice as bright lasts half as long. But anyhow, the manufacturers are great, like you say, Combat. And Short Porch Dave has been a great driving factor for Short Porch, and the problem I think sometimes is as great as Suncoast has been, Davey, and they've been the leaders. Sometimes there's just so many bats that a guy has trouble to sell it to a consumer. What do I need? Well, you got a half hour,
Did we get the weights and the balance or end load? Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we just go? Oh, you did. You said that was balance or end load. How many guys were balanced? I didn't listen. No balance. It's all end loads. Anybody want to speak to the end load?
This is a mid-load and an in-load on this one.
Huh?
This has a mid-load and an in-load. All the DDTs. But like I said, the Brandon Murray came out with that yellow one. It's a softer barrel. This one here, it took me like about 200 swings, but I don't swing like, all these other guys that hit the ball super hard, like Dan and Dave and all that
Joe
other.
Pavlock there.
With my swing, it took me 200, but now the softer barrel, the Beat City that John's swinging, that took me about 70 swings and it was already game ready. So it all depends on, like you said, the barrel. If it's harder, it takes longer to break in, but it's more durable. And I use this in the cold. And then the softer barrel, it has more of a spring and it's faster to break in.
Dan, you're swinging at 26, and people say, well, why is a big, strong guy like him swinging at 26? But is that a pretty good unload on it? That's the thing they bring into the equation.
It is, but that guy Ed, I came down here swinging at 28, and my first senior bat was at 26 and a half, and so I think I was successful swinging all the different weights, but he said you got to swing late, so I started swinging late, and for me, I'm a lot more consistent with a light bat, and it doesn't hurt my power. I can hit it farther with the heavier bat. If I'm going into home run derby, I use a 27, but in games I can wait a little bit longer, and it hits good.
And Davey, like you and me and Ed, in our 70s, we'd always, I was always a 30-ounce Ultra 2 guy, when I swing your model bat and Steve Imlay's model bat in the Suncoast, I always thought a 30 felt good. Heavier the better. I hit better with a heavier bat. But what have you done as you've aged?
I don't even make a 30 anymore.
What do you swing now that you've aged?
I swing at 25, and the only difference between a 25 and a 27 is the weight is in the knob. So what's the use? It's nonsense. Simply because if you're swinging the 28, you're actually swinging the knob, you're slowing the bat down. But if you got all the weight out here and nothing in the knob, it's going to help with the bat speed. And I just found it to work really well for me. I like a bat to be a little bit, if it gets down into the 170s, it's almost too soft for me, because the trampoline effect starts to come into play and the ball just doesn't go as good. It just flat doesn't go. But that's for me now. I like to give my bats when they no longer work for me. I like to give them to a 75, 80-year-old guy. He falls in love with the bat because.
Why did you give it? You never gave one to me.
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have? Oh, yeah, you have. Like last year. Yeah. Well, listen, I got a diversion just for a minute, because I discovered when I went over here like and hit that dude had a rock in that high. He's got a rock. Now he's tightening up. He wasn't tightening. This is little Frank, man. This guy here. This guy came from couldn't hit, striking out, right, Joe? He's number 14th in the lineup.
He needed a little bit of work.
Now he bats first and second. But this is Big Frank. But anybody got anything else to add to this conversation?
All right. When I first came down here about 15, 16 years ago from Maryland, that was the first time playing senior ball. And the first bat I used was a Gold Worth, and it was a balanced bat. And apparently at that time it was the hottest bat out here. It was a really great bat, and then I started swinging the Reebok, the yellow Reebok, and it was an end load. And boy, I fell in love with the end load, and it's always been a great bat for me, going for end loads. Because my swing, now, you talk about compression. When I get a bat that's down to like 155, 150, that's good for me, because I don't have a distance powerful swing. I try and generate a short line drive and hit the holes. And that 155 compression works for me.
Yeah. You got 5 more compression before they throw the bag.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I hide it.
And again, like I was saying, is that with the knowledge here in this circle, like what Davey was talking about, the different bats, and the technique, timing technique and technology, that when I first got here, that Ed talked about here with this group here, but with Dan and John and everybody here that has knowledge that can help you tweak your swing, and they can see what you're doing wrong, because you're up there, as all of us, we try to hit the ball, we want to hit the ball hard and far as we can, but when we swing and we miss, or we're doing something wrong and the ball's not going anywhere, we don't have any feedback, even though we even take videos. But the thing is to have the knowledge here that's been doing it for such a long time. You know, you got a Hall of Famer right here, you got a Hall of Famer right here, and there's Hall of Famers that come, that if you don't listen to them and try what they ask you to try, and it might not work for you, but that's what getting all the knowledge is power, and then you tweak it to your ability. But this is what I get out of this group here.
And I think I'll add to that. He's been advocating, just everybody I know, to do the overlap grip, and a lot of guys poo-poo it. They say, "No, that's not for me." And like I went to it in the COVID year, and it's helped me out a lot. Not, again, like Joe, I'm not a power hitter. I just try to hit the hard line drives, and it does help. But I know 2 or 3 guys that just went to it this past 6 months, bigger guys, and they're hitting the ball well out of the ballpark, that they weren't doing that as well. So even the grip is a big deal too, as far as what we've done here in this.
I think the grip is huge, don't you, Dan?
Oh yeah, it definitely works.
I mean, what you get. Look, Bogie. I went to it when I was 35. I knew guys when I was a young man, you know, old timers like me. The guy Rick Reitenberry was the first guy, and he did something like this, you know, down here and this, you know, which was different. And I just got out of baseball, so you know, I'm not changing from this. Are you kidding? I mean, did it all my life. That's the hardest thing, right? When you guys change, it is the habit. This is a habit we've done all our life. It's hard to change a habit. And we did this story with Dave. But, yeah, so in my career, there's a guy named Johnny Godbolt, one of the best home run hitters in the state. A lot of people don't even know his name. He quit a little early, didn't play in the 40s. But I thought that he taught me to grip, okay, like this. He actually does like this, because I seen an old video of him doing that, and a guy named Callaway back in the day. So I did this because main reason, you know, when you're in baseball, right, you want to break your wrist. Isn't that term we use? Now they use a different. What's the term they use now when you break your wrist? You know, what? Isn't there another term for it?
Snap.
Yeah, snap. That's it. But every time when you swing like this, you break your wrist, and you may have a late swing and an early swing, a weak swing, but you're gonna break your wrist. All right. Everybody agree to that? That use the overlap? Let's do this. Who uses the overlap grip? You do.
I do.
You do.
I do.
You don't. That's the problem.
I'm the one.
You do.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, for sure.
John.
Modified overlap.
Yeah, he's a modified. He's got another theory, but it'd take an hour to do that, and we got to make this short. Let's close it out with who's got any other point. I think it's a very good.
I talk about the overlap grip. When I first came and I watched John swing, and he has a strong wrist, and if you really want to see how the overlap grip works, watch him swing. Because it's effortless, and that ball just flies. He can go anywhere in the field. You know, you think you have this, you know, and my thing is, I was saying, well, I don't got control of the bat, so I'd switch back. But as Ed says, and you just got to commit and just trust it. And it's all up here, the mental game. And then ever since then, I can go backside now, which I thought I couldn't, but just watching John and how he swings the bat is amazing. So the overhand grip, and you too, Ed, you too.
Well, wait, it's a great lead-in, man.
Okay.
So, John, who convinced you to go to overlap grip? Yes, sir. Who convinced you to go to overlap grip? Dan, the little man.
You.
I didn't convince him, but he did. And Dave, I did Dave. Look at this. And I just started working on your little ass. But right, you just got and I'll kind of refer to you. I think that's a master class in all the issues of using a bat. Would you agree, Bogie?
I think so. I mean, and you can see the success everybody's had, but I'll ask John and Dan right off because they're young and in their prime. Well, get on these guys here.
Come on, man.
With the overlap grip, I find, especially as I've aged and had knee replacement, hip and back surgery, my rotation fails. But if you have a good rotation, the grip, especially the overlap grip, allows you to feel the snap rather than force it. What would you guys say on that?
Yes.
Your rotation really is what your rotation, centrifugal force, and then that's going to set up a good snap. But if you try to force a snap by driving your hands outside the rotation, no bueno. But what would you guys say about how you feel that way?
Be careful on using the big words like centrifugal force.
See. Okay. What would you guys say?
My rotation is still good, and I just view the overlap grip as a bonus kicker on distance. But I mean, to Chuck's point, you want to see how the overlap grip really works. John, it's phenomenal to see how his wrists and how fast his hands are.
No, overlap is great. When you want to use your hips, that's your power. But when you don't have your hips for whatever reason injured as you get older, you can just snap this pretty much anywhere in the field.
And I just to back up that point, last week we were playing against John's team and Chuck's team, and they beat us, which wasn't very good. But John, he hurt his ribs, so he couldn't turn on a ball, and he was just lacing the ball to right field, all wrist, pretty much using that overlap grip and punching the ball to right field, and they were shots.
Well, let me interject, which I always do. But the reason that I told John and I hit together for what, 10, 15 years? Long time, just me and him out here. Now we got a whole collection of fools. Okay, but what I said to him, you got great wrists, man. And isn't that what I say? Mm-hmm. And that's why I put him. Anybody I see with great wrists, I say they should use the overlap grip.
Do you feel, John, that you force the snap though, or feel the snap?
I just feel it.
Yeah. So it's not like if you have to force a snap,
just part of the swing.
If you have to force a snap though, it's not going to work as well as just feeling it.
You're not going to get your bat speed or your whip out of it that you would get just to let it. Because it's saying if you do an overlap grip, you're just gripping it so tight, you're not going to get anything out of it. That's forcing it.
You can't grip the bat.
You just got to keep everything loose
until you make contact.
Well,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, by being loose, you don't. Just what he said.
Take it home, Dano.
It just it flows. You don't. I've tried to force it, and it doesn't work.
Pretty soon you're driving your hands outside the rotation, and you're disconnected from the rotation.
Too soon or too late. If you just have loose hands and you swing, it works really good.
It's the one thing I found trying to make a comeback myself at 72, almost 72. And Davey, do you find that as you've aged that you got to work a lot more? When I was young, I didn't ever have to think about rotation. I just thought about where my hands went and different types of snap, whether it be over the top or what. As you've reached your later 70s, have you found that you have to work more on rotation as you've made your comeback?
You just have to work, period.
Well, what technical part of the swing do you find breaks down the quickest for you?
I don't really think about it that much. I just go up and I try to hit the ball in the middle with the bat. And then smile after I see somebody get knocked down.
Okay, let's end it on that. I think we went over to the budget of this movie. Thanks, Bogie, for being the cameraman. I'll honor this film the rest of my life. But Brian Normanton, who's the coach of the 2026 Dominican Republic return, Feeding the Dream. Now, what were you saying?
Saying this video's taking longer than your career did.
Damn. Why'd I bring him in here, Joe? No, he's good. Man, you muscled up, man. A little bit.
For this session at the Art of Hitting Club. What you just watched wasn't about selling a bat. It was about understanding why a bat works and how to find the right one for your swing. Between Bogie Bogart's decades of swing development, Hall of Famer Dave Reed's professional and senior level experience, and real feedback from club members, this was about sharing knowledge the only way that matters, through experience. If this helped you think differently about bat weight, length, barrel size, or balance, then it did its job. Remember, there's no perfect bat, only the right bat for you. Thanks for being part of the Art of Hitting Club. If you found value here, hit subscribe, share it with a teammate, and help us continue to preserve and pass on the history and knowledge of the game. We'll see you in the next one.
You're just going to stand and watch that one go. Boy, it looks like